Yo guys, what's up? Kaydot here, and today, as promised, I'm bringing you a new series on the channel, Warrior. Yes, we are starting with Warrior as the first class guide. It might not be what you think it is, though. My idea is for you guys join me on this adventure. I'm not the most experienced warrior, so what I ask you is throughout some weeks I'll show you my improvements as a warrior. I'll show you new tricks I find out. I'll show you new comps, but you guys have to help me. You guys have to tell me if you find something out, if you actually are playing a warrior, or if you enjoy this series. It's not a one-way deal. Let's do this together, you know? Just drop a comment, tell me something you want me to do, you want me to try out. So, let's begin. So for the stat priority, what I think it's best is you get the most mastery you can, then you go for crit, versatility, and you just get a lot of mastery because it gives you, like, if you have, for example, 164% mastery, that's what I have right now, you get 164% damage increase on your Mortal Strike, Colossus Smash, and Execute. And I don't know if versatility is better than crit, but I actually like that little bit of extra crit, just so you can crit with mastery. It's a lot of damage, because the damage is increased by 100% whenever you crit, right? This is the gear setup that I'm using right now, and I'll just show you really fast what I'm using. I'm using a 4 set piece bonus, obviously, so you actually generate rage whenever you're taking damage. So I just get the helm, the shoulders, the chest, and the gloves from the set, and I get the legs, no set, because I think it gives you the most mastery you can get from any piece. So that's the only reason you actually get the legs instead of shoulders or whatever piece that you were thinking. For the neck, you use the cruelty, the crit mastery one with 75 mastery enchant. The cloak, you get the cruelty, ace mastery, 100 mastery, 10% speed increase. You get the cruelty bracers, the victory waste, versatility mastery, and the crit mastery feat. As for the rings, I'm actually using the same one for the 2 slots, but one is the new season and the other one is the whole season. As for trinkets, I like the raw mastery one with the you proc whenever you want to proc, and I actually just bought this one like the other day, like yesterday or something like that. In WoD, I just play Warrior for 2 weeks now, and I've been gearing up because I've been thinking of doing this for a while now. I got my weapon. You actually enchant it with the Mark of Bleeding Aloe. When it procs, it gives you 500 mastery, if I'm not mistaken. So for the weapon, you just enchant it with the Mark of the Bleeding Aloe. So as for talents, I've been playing with Glyphs, trying to learn and trying to improve some mechanics on the warrior, because as I said, I never played it on WoD, so I need to learn it before I go out to the wild wolves at the 3v3 bracket. So I've been just playing 2v2, and I can only speak for the 2v2 bracket are really simple. Like, if I'm playing against Hunter and a Resto Druid, that you actually play a lot against Hunters and Resto Druids in the 2v2 bracket, I'll just use double time that lets you use charge twice in a row. So you actually will need to keep up with the Hunter, or you'll just take free damage. Apart from that, when I face like a spell cleave or something, I just use Warbringer. That it's an extra interrupt, you know. If a priest is trying to run up to my Resto Druid or my healer, and to get a fear off, I'll just try to interrupt them and slow the priest, so my partner has ways to run and to dodge that. As for the second tier, it's really not a choice. You use Enraged Regeneration in any case, I guess. Yeah, I never use any of this. Like 100% of the time I use Enraged Regeneration. I just think it's better because it gives you a little bit of burst healing. Tier 3. Yeah, well, you will always probably be rage capped unless you're playing against a hunter. Those guys are fucking faggots. No, I'm kidding. But I'll play with sudden death 100% of the time, because it just gives you the execute procs, and it's a lot of extra damage. Because one thing you might notice playing a war is that your cooldowns are actually super long, so you'll have dead times. So it actually helps you when it procs. You stop having dead times. You don't need to whirlwind or thunderclap to kill some time while Mortal Strike is down. So for the tier 4 level 60 talent, so if it's a double DPS or a triple DPS, whatever, triple melee class, double melee class, you use Shockwave. It's even better for trees. Yeah, now that I think about it, it's even better for trees, because if you get a triple Shockwave, the cooldown is reduced. Instead of 40 seconds, it's reduced to 20 seconds. So it's actually on a shorter cooldown than Stormbolt. But for the major part, you'll be using Stormbolt, so you can stun like a healer in long range, whatever. At least that's what I do. And if it's double DPS, even in 2s, I'll just use Shockwave, because they'll train my Resto Druid, and you'll probably die, no matter what, because quad. For the tier 5, so this is pretty much straightforward. If you're playing against a lot of casters, at least in 2v2, if you're playing against double caster, yeah, you just use Mass Reflection, because you'll probably get stunned and you'll be frozen a lot of time, so you probably want Mass Reflection so you can help out your healer. As for Safeguard, I actually like this one better, because, come on, it's a damage reduce by 20% on your partner, and it just replaces Intervene. But it's actually good to get you in position. Like if you're using Warbringer and you're using Safeguard, Warbringer is on a 20-second cooldown, I guess. So if you're actually playing, imagine playing against a Feral Druid and something else, like a Disc Priest or a Resto Shaman, whatever. If your charge is on cooldown and you need to get to the Feral, and the Feral just charged your healer, you can actually Safeguard there, and it's on a 30-second cooldown. So you'll probably either have Safeguard or Warbringer, but don't forget the real reason to use Safeguard is to actually keep your healer from dying, because Safeguard with Rallying Cry, even if you're playing against like a Turbo Cleave or something like that, it will help you. Vigilance is, I like it, but it's on such a long cooldown, to be honest, and it just protects for 12 seconds, and the damage taken is reduced by 30% on a target. But I don't know, I don't actually like it, because the cooldown is too long, and it's only 10% damage more than Safeguard, so I actually like Safeguard more. As for the tier 6, Bloodbath is good sometimes, I guess. I can tell you when, because I'm using Bladestorm every fucking day of my life, because I'm playing with a Resto Druid, as I told you before, and I don't have many escape abilities, so I'll just use Bladestorm. Even if not to do damage, I can just get out of roots or whatever with Bladestorm. As for the last tier, yeah, it's not much to tell here on this tier, because every talent sucks except for Anger Management. For every 30 rage that you spend, reduces the remaining cooldown of several of your abilities by 1 second. As for the Glyphs, this is what I'm using right now. Like, I don't know if it's the right ones to use, I don't know what you guys use, but I actually get confused with warrior Glyphs. The only one I'm actually sure you're supposed to use is this one, the Glyph of Rude Interruption, that gives you 6% increased damage whenever you successfully interrupt a spell. So this one is really good. Just let me know what you guys use and I'll check it out for sure. So what I'm using is Glyph of Bull Rush. It gives you 15% additional rage on your charge. Glyph of Mortal Strike, that actually reduces the healing taken by the target affected with it by 10% more than it already does. So it's 20%. And the Rude Interruption. This is a really good one. The minor glyphs I think is just whatever. It's just visual. Yeah, everything is visual, so it doesn't really matter. So as for macros, I remember in Wrath of the Lich King when warriors were all about macros. Yeah, those days are over. Don't worry about that. You just need the Pummel macro. I use this one, the Mortal Strike macro, that it actually taunts pet. CANCELAURA. You use the Focus Stormbolt and the Arena 123 Stormbolt that I actually don't have right now. Yeah, and intervene to your partners, focus charge, and that's about it. Yeah, this macro is actually really funny. Like when you execute, it just procs everything, so it crits 100%. But I'll leave the macros uh, in the comments, so don't worry about that. It's not that important. So now I'll show you this example. I haven't played that much on my warrior. This was when I was actually still gearing up. But I think it's the best example I can give you right now of what I need to improve and what I'm actually thinking through some time on this game. I'll just show you some examples of what I was thinking and why I did what I did at the time. So we're playing against Warrior Paladin, and my talent options for this one was Warbringer as a charge, because I can stun the warrior whenever my druid is in danger. Safeguard, because I don't know how much damage he will put up, because every warrior we face seems to deal a lot more damage than I do. I'm using Shockwave, and that was actually a mistake, because I forgot to switch to Stormbolt. So we start on the warrior here, and he gets a stun off, so the pressure is not that much. So I can switch on to the paladin, because if I go on the warrior, I just feed him rage, and it's actually really bad to go on a warrior if he's playing on top of your healer. If you go on top of him, you just feed him rage, and you probably won't kill him, because his healer is not under any pressure, and you can get any cyclone that way. He's probably never gonna die, so you have to actually switch pressure between the warrior and his healer. So right here, I spell Reflected, but I spell Reflected for a reason. I use Omnibar, and he still has his stun. So whenever I jump on top of him, I think he's going to stun me. That's the only reason I actually used the spell reflect right here, and it ended up not only he didn't stun me, but he fake cast me. So that was pretty shameful of me. But on the right side, he actually tried to stun me on my Bladestorm, so it didn't work. I actually interrupt him here, so I have root interruption right now for like 20 seconds or something like that. So I keep pressuring the paladin as much as I can and try to get like a hand of protection or a bubble, whatever. Yeah, and I actually got the bubble in exchange for my fear. So yeah, I switch back to the paladin and I charge him as much, cause yeah, there you go, he stuns him, and that was actually my plan. Like you need to rotate cyclones whenever you play with a druid and a warrior and whatever in your team, because at least when you play twos. Yeah, and right here I actually reflected this stun, but it got DR'd with Cyclone, and it actually overlapped with Cyclone because we were not sure we would get that. So it's all good. So I don't know what's the warrior's plan right here, because he has freedom and he's actually safeguarding his paladin when he's not under any pressure. I ended up interrupting his heal, and yeah, here my goal is just trying to get any end of protection, because he's out of bubble. He has end of protection, but he has nothing else. So I actually reflected another stun right here, and yeah, 1, 2, bubble, yeah, end of protection right there. I'm not using Glyph of Shattering Throw. I didn't even know that existed. I thought Shattering Throw was removed from the game, and I probably should have using that Glyph, especially on this match, because he's a paladin. So I need to get through 2 end of protections and 1 bubble before he dies. So yeah, I'm just trying to pressure him right now, really hard. Yeah, I did right here. I'll just stop the clip right here to tell you why the hell did you safeguard your druid when the warrior was stunned. You lost like 2 or 3 seconds right there. Yeah, I didn't know what cooldowns he had. I just didn't. I didn't know if he had charge or heroic clip, and his stun only lasted for like 1 second more. So I actually tried to reduce damage on the rend dot, because he was actually under a lot of pressure. So the warrior right here, he gets out, he heroic leaps to line of sight on my healer and charges them right away with a shockwave. So it was actually a good idea because all his damage from the charge stun was reduced by 20%, so it was actually not that bad. He stuns me right here, but we switch Cyclones to his warrior so he doesn't get healed. He stuns me, I don't have Trinket because I used it to keep pressure on the Paladin. So the warrior will probably get topped off here, unless, yeah, Shockwave. And there we go. The last end of protection. We just switch right back to the warrior. That was a miscommunication. We weren't using Skype at the moment, so he actually cycloned on my stun. The goal right now is to actually go on the warrior. Like, warrior has nothing, no rallying cry, no die by the sword. Paladin has no ends, so I just reflect another stun on the Paladin and keep going on the warrior. He's in execute range right now. If he hears me, I try to be as quick as possible and sacrifice, and he just flops there. So the key point on this was to explain what you actually need to do in some circumstances, like what you need to do against this comp. Like, this is a really popular comp when it comes to 2v2, the warrior paladin, because warriors are really strong, they can dish a lot of damage, and paladins are just like a wall that you probably won't be able to get through in 2v2 unless you do that. Like, you switch pressure as much as you can, like you switch a lot of cyclones and you make him use end of protections or whatever. So I know I'm not the best warrior out there, but I have a tiny bit of awareness of the arena, and I actually played so much against warriors and druids and whatever in previous expansions. In this expansion, it doesn't matter because they always do the same. They switch cyclones, they switch pressure, and they just get as many defensive cooldowns as they can get, and they kill you. That's about it, because you can't do shit, because you have no trinket for 2 minutes, and if you get on a full cycle of cyclones, I know it sounds weird, but it's really like that, they will just kill you. Like, you have no defensives. It doesn't matter if you're a paladin, a DK, a warrior, a druid, a shaman, whatever, they will just kill you. Whenever you get to 20%, they can just execute you and they will kill you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to improve with your help. I hope I can help you with something as well. Share some experiences, share some achievements, share some gameplay, share some improvements. I don't know. Share some tips, actually, some macro. If you find like a one-shot macro like Swifty did, I hope you share it with everybody else, every warrior in this PvP community. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, on YouTube, and just drop a comment below if you have something to tell me. If you have any tips. So yeah, this is something I'll be doing on a weekly basis, as I said in the beginning. I'll just show you my improvements, and I hope you guys do the same. This has been Kaydot, and I'm signing out.